You fat. That's why you clicked on this video, because you don't want to be fat no more. I get it. If I was fat, I wouldn't want to be fat no more either. I'd be clicking around the internet looking for videos on how to solve that problem. Luckily, you found it. In this video, I'm going to break down the simplest way for you to lose fat without having to track calories. I know that might sound crazy because for decades, I've been telling you track your calories, track your macros. But I know some of y'all are too lazy to do it. You lazy and you probably and that's how you got fat. Bad because don't get fat. But we're gonna fix that for you. I'm gonna give you the simplest way. I came up with this strategy back when I was personal trainer, because sometimes I would get these clients and they were businessmen or executives, or they were people who claim to be too busy. I got too much going on to track my calories. And truthfully, that's just cope, right? Tracking calories is not difficult. I'm a goddamn multi-millionaire and I track my calories every day because it's just putting numbers in a phone. It's not calculus, right? But anyway, I'm gonna show you how to do it without tracking calories, because what I did for these guys, I was like, all right, here's the game plan. I'm gonna give you this game plan. All you got to do is this. And all of them lost weight. And then I started giving the same game plan to anybody else who I thought was a bitch and too pussy to track calories. It's not the best way. The best way is to track calories, but this will work. And I actually made a video about this like maybe 10 years ago. Thousands of people have followed this after watching that video and said, yeah, man, it worked. It worked for me, right? Of course, I gave it to you. I'm expert. I'm like the bald black Michael Jordan of training. It's the simplest diet plan you ever come across. But the problem is it's going to be very restrictive. Let me explain. All you're going to eat is meat, eggs, and green leafy vegetables. Let me give you some examples. For your meat options, steak, ground beef, roasted beef, beef liver, any kind of beef, poultry. Get you some chicken. There can be chicken breasts. If you a bitch, like I don't eat chicken breasts. Chicken breasts are for women. Chicken thighs, chicken wings, drumsticks. Right? But what we're not doing, we're not frying the shit. You gotta be baked or grilled. Turkey, any type of turkey, ground turkey, or however else y'all eat y'all turkey. I might eat turkey once a year, bro. You could get you some duck. I like to eat duck. You know, I go down to Komodo. They got ducks hanging from the fucking thing, and they know for their duck. It's lit. Any kind of fish. Get you some salmon. All right, get you some cod, tuna fish, sardines. You know me, I eat sardines every day, man, because they're nutritious and delicious. Mackerel, some trout, any kind of seafood. Get you a lobster. Get you some crab. Get you some oysters. I don't eat oysters because they look like big boogers, but you can get them. Get you some of them mussels. Any kind of seafood, octopus, eat a motherfucking shark, beluga whale, manatee, whatever, man. Whatever's legal in your country. You can't eat manatees in America. I think that's illegal, but I wouldn't eat it anyway because they look like dinosaur turds. They look like water cows, but you can't eat land cows. That's totally fine. Get you some lamb chops, ground lamb. I don't know if people ground lamb or not, you know, but you might. Bison, venison. You can eat some organ meats if you white. Like white boys love fucking organ meats. That's like the thing. It's funny, man, because that used to be slave food. But now, you know what I'm saying? Healthy white boys buy it at Whole Foods. Times have changed. And you can eat eggs, right? You know, chicken eggs. I mean, I guess you can eat a turkey egg. I ain't never thought about it. You can eat some fish eggs, eat some caviar, duck eggs, quail, you know, whatever kind of egg you into, man. Get you some of that, scramble it, whatever. And then green leafy vegetables. We talking spinach, kale, lettuce, collard greens, which is my favorite shit, mustard greens, some broccoli, Brussels sprouts, asparagus. That's it. So somebody's thinking, man, what about rice? No, bitch, nigga. Rice ain't on the list. What about potatoes? No, motherfucker. Potatoes ain't on the list. Motherfuckers be like, what about sweet potatoes, though? No, motherfucker. Sweet potatoes ain't on the list. All you're gonna eat is green leafy vegetables, meat, and eggs. Somebody's thinking of typing right now. Yo, what about fruit, though? Can I eat fruit? Is fruit meat, eggs, or green leafy vegetables? No, nigga. And you know what else, man? People make a big deal about the fruit. Here's the thing. I don't think you guys eat fruit as much as you claim to eat it when I bring it up. Listen, I've been alive for 42 years on Earth, and I've never met a man who ate fruit every day. I know children who do it. I don't know any women who eat fruit every day. Now, somebody's thinking, Man, I eat fruit all the time. Maybe you the exception, bitch nigga, right? But you can't eat fruit now. I'm the only guy I know who eats fruit every day. I eat berries every day, every morning, because you can eat berries on keto. But y'all don't, man. Shut the fuck up. But here's the thing. You can eat fruit once you get in shape, man. You got to earn that fruit. You is fat. That's why you clicking the video, man. I'm not clicking watching videos on how to get in shape. I make them for your fat ass. Now shut up and listen. Right, I've been a trainer for 15 goddamn years. Or some of you motherfuckers was shitting on yourself, gooning to the Power Rangers. You was gooning to the Pink Ranger. I know. I was training 10 people a day. Why does this how it work? It works because you're probably going to end up in ketosis. When you are in the ketogenic diet, when your body's producing ketones suppress hunger, so they make you less hungry naturally. This is why a lot of people, when they do keto, they don't track their calories, and they don't need to, and they still get in great shape. This is like lazy keto. Basically, I was telling people to do this who were too lazy to track the macros before I went keto. I'm keto, I still track my macros because it's the best, right? I'm not you. I'm not trying to see how much I can get away with. I'm trying to see how far I can push myself. You a lazy motherfucker. So we're gonna help you get away with not tracking by just limiting your food choices. Don't worry about fiber. You'll get plenty of fiber from those vegetables. If you do this diet, you'll probably be eating more vegetables than you were before. I'm keto, and I'm sure I eat more green leafy vegetables than you. I eat like 2 salads every day. Every time I go to steakhouse, I get fucking spinach with my steak, some asparagus and shit. So you're probably gonna be in ketosis. You may be thinking, man, what if I don't have energy? Okay, so 2 things. You might not have energy at first. You're gonna go through withdrawal. See, when you're eating starchy carbohydrates, potatoes, rice, sugar, candy, all that shit, your body converts that into glucose, and that's the fuel your body runs off of, right? In absence of that, your body will start producing something called ketones, and that's going to be the new fuel that you run off. That's why it's called the ketogenic diet, because you're running off ketones instead of glucose. And it's an adaptation phase, right? So that's why some people's like, man, I tried keto and I didn't have any energy. There's 2 reasons why that happened. One, you might not have been eating enough. The ketones will start suppressing your hunger, and you won't be hungry, but you won't eat enough to sustain a normal amount of energy. I've seen that mad times. Like people say, man, I cut carbs and I don't have any fucking energy. I'll ask them what they ate, and we'll add it up in my fitness pal. Like, motherfucking, you ate 1,000 calories. Of course you ain't got energy. It's like, damn, but I wasn't even hungry. Yeah, that's why this shit works. So you want to make sure you eat enough. And another reason why you might not have energy when you've cut carbs or went keto is because when you do this, you have to increase your electrolytes. And that brings us to the supplements. There's some supplements that you should take. One that's mandatory is more electrolytes. So this is salt, magnesium, and potassium. You can do it yourself. You can just add more salt to your food. You can add hot sauce to your food. Hot sauce is a no-calorie condiment, and it has a lot of salt. Or you can drink something like LMNT. You know, I drink 2 or 3 of those a day. They don't pay me to say that. I will take the money, you bitch ass motherfuckers. I will take the money if you give it to me. And if you don't give it to me, I will take the money. Get your shit together, bitch niggas. This is a cheat. Anytime you start feeling weak, drink an LMNT or put some salt in some water and drink it, right? And you'll feel better immediately. One thing I did initially when I first went keto, LMNT and all that shit wasn't out. If I started feeling weak, I would drink some chicken broth because it has a bunch of salt and I'd feel way better. Now I just keep LMNTs on me in case I need to just add it to some water, right? The next thing that will help you is something called Ketone Aid. Or you can take another ketone supplement. This is the one I like the most. It tastes like garbage. Like I imagine if you see a dumpster and it's leaking garbage, I imagine that tastes like this. But it gives you more energy and it really helps with that transitional period when your body's weaning off of glucose and learning to produce ketones, right? I don't think carbs are bad, but if you want to eat carbs, you got to track your calories. So you can eat carbs, but now you got to track your calories. If you're not going to track your calories, then you need to do this. I've seen people do this and the weight just fucking falls off and they didn't track a calorie once. Another supplement that's you'll find helpful is something called Bronade. Now, here's the thing. If you play some sort of sport professionally or even collegiately, you might want to check to see if this is on the banned supplement list because it might be. So you don't need a prescription, but you got to go to the pharmacy and be like, let me get some of that Bronade. And you want to show her your identification. So she makes sure you're not like Breaking Bad or something. I don't know. There's an ingredient in here called Ephedra. Ephedra is that shit. So when I was a kid in the 90s, every energy supplement had Ephedra in it. because it's one of the few supplements it's proven to help burn fat. Fat loss is a two-part process. It's lipolysis and oxidation. Lipolysis is when the fat cells are broken down into fatty acid. Oxidation is when your body uses those fatty acids for energy. And tons of studies show that ephedra increases the rate of lipolysis. You still got to burn that shit off, but it increases lipolysis. So when you're burning more calories than you consume, if you're in caloric deficit, you'll use more fat for energy, right, than muscle. It's also anti-catabolic. It helps retain muscle as well. But they stopped putting it in bodybuilding supplements. Some kids died or some shit. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. If memory serves me, these little niggas was cutting weight for wrestling, and they took a bunch of ephedra and they was dehydrating themselves. They wasn't drinking water, and they was wearing them sauna suits and running around trying to make weight for wrestling, and they died. The Matrix blamed ephedra, but it was really them kids. I don't think they really understood that body needs some water to sustain life. I don't think they was privy to that. They found out the hard way. Anyway, you're not going to do that. You're just going to take Bronade, and you can take this 2 or 3 times a day. Yo, you won't be hungry at all. Okay, there's few legal supplements that give you as much energy as Bronade. If you want to get more energy to Bronade, you're probably going to need a prescription or a guy who can give you that shit on the low. Next thing you'll need is caffeine. Caffeine is a potent appetite suppressant, so you won't be as hungry, and it gives you way more energy. I take over 1,000 milligrams of caffeine a day. You don't have to do that, but you should take 200 or 300 milligrams of caffeine 2 or 3 times a day, and take it with your Bronade. Don't worry about taking too much. The lethal dose of caffeine is 10,000 milligrams. I take 1,000 milligrams a day. It's light work, 10% of the lethal dose. Andrew Huberman, everyone's favorite white science man, he says he takes 800 milligrams of caffeine a day. He's a health science man. You know, all he talk about is health and fucking shit. So every time I say that, somebody says, man, yo, 10% of the lethal dose can't be good. No. That's not how toxicology works. A gallon of water is more than 10% of the lethal dose. You can drink that all day and it's actually good for you. So like getting 10% of the lethal dose of caffeine, that's just not how toxicology works. So don't worry about it. Everything's cool. Those are the supplements. If you follow this plan, you will lose weight. And you should really add the supplements, especially the electrolytes. The electrolytes is the only one that's mandatory. Everything else is just taking it to the next level. But you gotta have electrolytes. Otherwise, you will feel like shit with low carbs. And this will work. Hey, asshole, don't type in this video, can I eat bananas? What about plantains? Can I have cantaloupe? What about kiwi? Is that cool? Shut your bitch ass up, man. And what about jasmine rice? Is that cool? Can I get some brown rice? No, asshole. What about black eyed peas? Black eye you, shut the fuck up. Just follow the plan. Come back to this video, say how much weight you lost, leave it in the comments, give me the praise, and everyone's happy. Now, here's the thing. Some of y'all are personal trainers. I've put people I've trained on this diet plan. Motherfuckers who I couldn't get to track their calories. I just said, do this, bitch nigga. And they did it. And they got in great shape. So that's something you can do if you're a trainer. Put them on this plan. If they want to lose weight, if they want to build muscle, it's going to be more complex. This will work for people you train as well. I train a lot of people with this. If you want to learn how you can build your online training business, I got a free ebook for you called the 10 Commandments of Online Training. Show you how to build a successful online training business. Because that's how I made my first million as an online trainer. And I've since helped over 15,000 people build successful online training businesses. If you want to learn more about it, see if it's right for you, click the link in the description. Download it. All right. Peace.